This is an unknown gas appliance. It's a found object. It's not a ritual object. It has a utilitarian engineering purpose, now long lost. When we moved in to this house about 30 years ago, it was one of the things we found in the cellar. And I thought it was interesting because it could look ritual, it could look religious, it could look heraldic. So I picked it up and considered respraying it, and decided not to. Put it on a kind of mantelpiece arrangement with an orcish ring, in the Lord of the Rings time, that my son was very proud of. I like it because it says something about the past and a particular period of the past, which was the switch over from gas to electricity. Not complete, there's still lots of gas being used, though it will eventually be phased out. It spoke to me of that period when people used gas appliances, there were gas fires. And it had the connection that my family had never liked gas, or never been allowed to like gas, because my father had been an engineering officer on an aircraft carrier during the war. And he was terrified of gas, because if you're in a ship carrying millions of litres of aviation fuel, what you are particularly afraid of is leakage of fuel vapour and fire. And indeed, it looked like the sister ship to his ship had been destroyed without enemy action in the middle of the Atlantic. It just blew up. And my father had made some modifications on his ship so that didn't happen. Probably, but it was all hushed up because the Admiralty didn't even want to admit that the first one had blown up, let alone the reasons for it. So my father's anxiety about gas and his sheer distaste for it, not just the smell, but the danger of it, was an issue in what we could do to heat our house. So when I found this in the cellar, it was a sort of prehistoric era artifact. It was from a period before full electrification, which, growing up in my case in the 50s and 60s, was modernity. The gas heating was Victorian, or at least pre-Second World War, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Plus, it's hard to install. It's a whole different set of connections that you need to have. So, gas for me was the past, and then finding this in the past was like recovering and then recuperating a Neolithic object. It had, and it has that same uncompromising shape and style. You could see, if it were bigger, a few feet bigger, you can see entire ceremonies being enacted, possibly with bronze axes in front of it. And I thought it was too interesting to be lost or allowed to remain in the near permanent darkness of the cellar. So I have brought it up from the collective historical unconscious, and it's preserved on my desk, or my wife's desk. We argue about it. She doesn't like it as much as I do, but we have a drawer on this, and so we keep it there. And so there it is. I don't know what it was called. I note it has perforations at the top, which may be significant. Maybe flames spurted out of there. Maybe not. It could be exhibited in that direction and format. But I think it seems to me, because of its upthrusting, semi-liturgical aspects, it's better kept like this. So it will remain for at least the next few years of Kilburn's life. This object will be proudly displayed again to the public view, to the select visitors, and filmic representations. So enjoy, everyone.